This week on Not Your Average Fangirls.
All your AHGASE fans, we old now too. We old, okay?
And we want to know if there's a chance, then we got to get in line.
We got to go now.
Time is running out, okay? So if I
I'm
gotta
trying to be an army wife.
It's a GOT7 and AHGASE Extravaganza this week as our friends and fellow baby birds, Kiara and Alexis, join us to discuss GOT7's latest self-titled EP and everything surrounding this incredible comeback. Check it out.
What is up, you guys? It is Not Your Average Fangirls, back with another week of K-Popness. It is your girl, Kat. It's very exciting, everyone. It is an AHGASE special. It's the AHGASE special. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. But before we start our AHGASE special, I have to say it's been another week without June. You really thought I was going to forget.
There she
I'm
goes.
not going to forget. But I'm really excited to talk about GOT7. I feel like it's been so long. It's been so long.
It's been 84 years since that. And hello, everybody. This is Carolina. Yes, the mastermind, the AHGASE queen of Not Your Average Fangirls, the GOT7 reporter and everything. Anyways,
JYP representative.
I'm excited.
Carolina.
I'm sorry, I don't work there anymore.
Excuse me.
So
We quit when GOT7 quit.
I don't work there anymore. So anyway, so hello, I'm excited, yes, for today to talk about GOT7.
Our two other co-hosts are not here today. They, they're living their life. But It's okay because we got two replacement Not Your Average Fangirls today.
Woo!
AHGASE special. Our beautiful friends.
That's so nice. We have the replacements.
Replacements
replacements
on standby.
They're gonna be here every
You
week
heard
now.
that, Cynthia and Terika?
We kicked out
We got-
Kiara and
Oh
Cynthia
my God, it's literally perfect. It's
for
perfect.
skipping out. Let's go ahead and introduce our guest, yes, for this week. First of all, we have our longtime friend Kiara. It's the first time she's on the podcast, which she said, yeah, it's my first time on the podcast. Like, what? Like, I was so...
Yeah, I have been patiently waiting my invitation for all of these years, and I never got one. And I was just like, it's fine. They'll invite me when they're ready. And then I was just like, interesting. And more months and months went by, years went by, and I still did not get an invitation. But today is the day, you guys, and I'm here, and that's all that matters.
Yes, Kiara, we met her because of GOT7. I met her in person for the first time when we booked the hotel together, and we met at the hotel, and we were just like, oh, thank God you're not a serial killer. Like,
I would like to also interject that I'm part of the reason why Not Your Average Fangirls is a thing, because I introduced everybody to Terika.
Facts. That's actually very
Yes.
You're welcome, you guys. You have your beautiful co-host quartet because of me. Because I introduced Terika to the gang, and then they made this beautiful thing happen. So I'm really happy that I could have been a background person and all that. But it's okay. It's my first time being here, even though I was an influence.
Even though you're the backbone of Not Your Average Fangirls.
I'm just joking.
I'm
But
saying,
you guys, I'm Kiara, yeah.
because we always say that Terika is the backbone of Not Your Average Fangirls. She's the creator of everything.
It's true.
So it's, yes, thank you, Kiki.
Kiki is the center of the universe.
And on our other side, I feel like I'm like, it's a fight, like in one corner and then on the other corner. And our other guest here, Alexis Hodoyán. You guys, she's been on the podcast before to talk about GOT7 actually, and she's back to talk about GOT7.
Yeah, it's like I'm
surprised?
only required when talking about GOT7, which I love, by the way.
You're the first person that comes to
I
our
love,
mind.
being recognized as like the verified AHGASE
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Exactly.
Love that.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Alexis is a journalist. I'm sorry, she is an editor now. For
Period.
Remezcla. And
Come on, promotion.
she's bringing the agenda of K-pop and Latin music, which I love. So
Period.
I'm here for that.
Yes, this is my platform. That's my platform. Just like anytime K-pop and like the Latin music community culture, anything intersects, there's me
There's Alexis.
making something
at the head
happen.
of it all.
She's like, that when Johnny's like, and I'm Johnny, Alexis just shows up like, and I'm here for this. Yes, I'm Alexis.
Yeah. It's so funny because at work, sometimes people will try to like get through to me. And they're like, oh, well, maybe in K-pop, everyone's bringing up K-pop. And it's just like, wow, my brand is strong even at work.
Everyone knows it.
Even though I work for a Latinx publication, which, yeah, I love. I am very comfortable with that. And even then, more so with GOT7. So love to be here
Yes.
anytime that GOT7 breathes. I'm gonna be there to just like clap for them.
We haven't done an episode like this.
We
I'm
have
excited.
never done an entire episode for just one group. I mean, we've done like album reviews and things, but this is the first time, front to back. This is all about GOT7, everybody. Every single
As it
moment
should be.
is about GOT7.
The whole world's about GOT7.
My life is about GOT7.
Exactly.
Like she left us a voice note yesterday sobbing about GOT7.
Oh my God. Here she goes.
Oh, God.
I literally was talking to her today. I'm like, Carolina, you're not even an emotional person, but
She's
every time
not.
GOT7
It's
breathes, you
wild.
boo-hoo cry. What is going on here?
Carolina is like the most unemotional person I know. Like I
Yes.
surround myself with like water signs, and they're all like emotional messes. And
Me.
then Carolina,
I'm an emotional mess, but she's worse.
And then Carolina, like no emotion. Like her human empathy is high, but she doesn't care enough about people to like cry about things that don't concern her. But anytime, like
true.
Yu-Gi-Oh just goes, huh? And she's like, oh my God.
Literally.
I'm like, girl, please.
Yu-Gi-Oh, GOT7, she's a sobbing
Why you
mess.
throwing me under the bus? I do that by my own. I throw myself on the bus by myself. So please respect my
You
privacy.
set yourself up, girl.
So we're gonna start, and I'm gonna start by asking, as I'm an Agase, yes, but my level is not to the other three wonderful women that are that are speaking today. I need to know, because as a, semi-Agase, or an Agase-ish, as I like to say it, I was like, okay, like maybe we're going to wait another year or so, 2 years until GOT7 comes back. How were you guys feeling when it happened, when they were like, okay, this is it, this is Encore? How long did you guys think it was going to take for GOT7 to come back? Genuinely.
So I went through like 18 stages of grief and joy at the same time. So I was like, I went through stages where I'm like, everything is fine. We're here. We're never moving. Like, this is what we do. This is the Agase GOT7 thing. Like, we don't move. We don't change. We're the same all the time. There's never any like doubt or anything in our minds. This is our home. We've already like built this comfortability level that's very rare in the industry. Like for a fan group to have like a level of comfortability with each other like this. I had never seen it before. I never experienced it before besides with them. And even like standing other groups, I still don't see it exactly the same because it's so unique. It sounds kind of cliche, but it really is not like anything I've ever seen. It's very different. Even with other groups that have like really good relationships with their fans and it's like always a good time, this is still something at a completely separate like capacity, I feel. So I'm like, okay, at one point I'm like, okay, we're good. But then like time moves and then there's still nothing. And then time moves again and then there's still nothing. And then you start doubting and it's your own anxiety. It's not like what they're saying is you thinking they're lying to you. You know they're not, but you can't help but be crazy. So then you start getting scared. And then you jump back and forth between like being like, no, everything's good and like, no, everything's over. I'm never going to see them again. It's over. And then you just do that for like a year. And then that's fun. So that's where I was at.
I was kind of in the similar position when the news happened. I mean, we did a whole podcast obviously talking about it, but
Literally.
I was having a meltdown.
I remember that episode. Yeah.
Literally was just like, oh my God, they're not gonna disband, but at the same time, I was just like, I'm never gonna see them again. Like, it's gonna be like 3 years before they come back. And then it wasn't until like in the middle of the year that I was just like, no, like, I need to just have faith in them. They're gonna do what they gotta do. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't, until like more news of J-Bum like going to JYP and trying to get the rights and like all this stuff started coming out that I was just like, oh, they fighting for this. So I was just like, okay, so I was reassured. But I was literally the same. I was just like, I'm not gonna see them ever again. I was like, never. Like, that's it. JJP is gonna go to Hawaii to the military and like, it's gonna, and then right after it's just gonna continue on and I'm never gonna see them again for the next like 5 years. Like, so when they announced like, oh no, like when Bam Bam started doing all the teasers and shit, I was like, oh,
boy Bam.
Oh yes. So that was where I was at. I was just kind of a mess.
For me, it was like, okay, let me just preface this by saying that, like I'm a strong earth sign.
Yeah, period.
Like my sun is in Capricorn. My ascendant is Virgo. So when the news hit that GOT7 was like, they were all leaving JYP, I was like, that's a fucking wrap. Like, it's over. Like, damn, they really named their last fucking album Last Piece. Like,
Oh
I
my
hate
God.
them. Like, how could they do this to us? Like, I was just like, this is a wrap. And they're like, oh, we're not disbanding. And I was like, yeah, but like, Girls' Generation didn't disband either. And like all these groups, no one really disbands anymore, right? So I was just I lean on pessimistic all the time. And I just rather be surprised and disappointed. So I was just and I'm on record. I think I did the K-pop cast like right after Encore came out. I don't remember if I did it with you, Carolina. Were you?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Maybe.
I've done a few like I said, people just call me when they need to like do a GOT7, which I love, but I just can't keep track of them. But anyway, I'm on record saying like, this is just not going to happen. Like, it's fine. We're closing a chapter. We're opening another book. It's fine. Like, ran its course. It's okay.
She's like, it's fine, but then she cries at night.
Exactly. Yes. And I'm also on record saying that like I don't mind saying that I'm wrong, that I was wrong. And I really enjoyed that it wasn't just like, oh yeah, like a promise. Like it was more like they were showing us like, yeah, we're not together, but we hang out, we still like each other, we go on each other's shows, we promote each other's songs, so that was like very comforting, but I was still, again, I'd rather be surprised than disappointed. So I was just like, what? If it comes, when it comes, it'll be great. But until then, like, I just don't want to get my hopes up. So sometime last year, I received, and I think I shared it with Las NYAF, where I got a little postcard that said like, oh, hopefully, wink, wink, next year GOT7. And I was like, oh my God. But, but still, it was just like that hope, like there's a little candle, but I
a
still,
little light at the end of the tunnel, but we're still too far.
Yeah, but I was like, so I've enjoyed the process of just like, being surprised and not being disappointed with them. And not that I would be disappointing in them, but just like more like disappointed in myself for like holding out hope for something that's really hard to do. Like as we've seen, like, Jackson saying that he just opened up 2 months of his life for God's, like it's hard. So I've enjoyed being surprised throughout this entire process.
Yeah, and it like she's right. Like it's such a hard thing to do, an impossibly hard thing. So I think that's why I just kept bouncing back and forth. Because I was like, yeah, this is like kind of really hard to pull off. But then in my other side of my head, I'm like, but GOT7 had pulled off their entire career when everything was like the odds were against them. So who am I to sit here and think that they'd stop being crazy for pulling shit off that they should never be able to pull off now? Like, why would they not be able to pull this off when they pulled everything off for the last 7+ years when they had almost no support besides like almost like grassroots, like fan support? So I'm like, who am I to think that they'd stop doing that now? Like, what would make their work ethic change now? So
yeah, that was my thought process too. Like at first, it was just like, oh my God, yeah, they're over. But then I was just like, no, like they love GOT7 too much. Yeah. Like when they released Encore, that's when I was just like, no, they love this group too much. They like each other too much to let it all go. I think when they just kept reiterating like, we will come back, like and all that, I was just like, okay, they've gone through all the odds, even like when all the shit that happened with them under JYP, they would still find ways to like communicate with the fans even if they were not supposed to, so I had a lot of faith in them. So I was on the other spectrum. I was just, at one point I was just like, all right, no, I'm positive. I remember telling Alexis like, nah, you don't know, like they're gonna do it, they're gonna come back. She's like, no.
And I'm like, no, it's over. We're never going to fucking see them again.
Drama.
I was like, I have to go and buy all their albums because like we'll never see anything from them. No, I was like, yeah, no. I was then the complete opposite.
So I was just like, listen, my only concern was that, like, will I ever see them in concert again? Because exactly, like, them being in different companies, like, that's hard to put your schedules together and figure it out, especially for a tour. For that tour, I'm just waiting. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to wait here. I'm not going to get my hopes up about anything, but I'm just going to wait here for the date. Whenever they drop it, then I can just be like, all right, here's my credit card. Thank you.
Unbiased, who do you think released the best music between Encore and now NANANA out of all the members? Unbiased opinions.
Spicy.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one.
JB and Yugyeom.
That's the thing. It depends. Like
Yeah.
who
On your vibe.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's the vibe because they all release such different music.
Because, like, you know, we talked about Young Jay's music, and that was, like, the
Yeah.
most GOT7,
Esque,
like,
yeah.
sounding music. Bam Bam was just very fun, and, like, you just felt very happy listening to it. I really like R&B, so especially, like, J-Bomb's, like, deaf music and things. So when he released all that, I was just like, yes, my cup of tea. Yugyum is Yugyum, but I also like, again, the R&B, like, side of that. So when he released music like that, I was like, heck yeah. Mark's just... well, it was not for me. And then Jackson like had put like good music, but I don't listen to it like a lot like that.
Yeah, I don't connect with Jackson
Like-
either, to be honest.
Yeah, like
Okay,
I mean,
well-
I'll listen to it. Like, catch me dancing. Like, Papillon's
Okay.
still my shit. Like,
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, Papillon was years ago. We can move on from Papillon, okay? We're talking about from Encore to now.
Oh yeah, that's
Including
true.
Papillon.
That's
We're
right.
gonna reiterate the question. I'm about to come up and defend my man. I'm gonna stick beside him. Wait a minute. Okay. So reiterating the question.
I think that objectively, and I say objectively because like everyone knows that my bias is JB.
Period.
But I just feel like his EP was the most well-rounded. But I do think, but personally, I enjoyed Young Jay's more. Like that's the one that I will like go to and I'll like click on vibing. You know, like I will listen to that EP. And JB, it's very I don't know. I mean, I also obviously really like it, but it's just like a mood.
Yeah.
You know, like you play it top to bottom.
Yeah.
I don't really seek out the songs individually. Like if I want to listen to JB, I'll just play, you know, like JB Radio or something like that, and like all his music will come up. Whereas Young Jay, I'll be like, yeah. You know, today is a day that I need to listen to Vibe It. And to your credit, Carolina, I do like, there are some songs on Yugyams that are like, oh wow, this is Chef's Kiss. But I feel like, to me, Yugyams was repetitive. Like I couldn't differentiate between some of the
songs. I feel it. I agree, but because I am the person that I am.
Oh yeah, you're gonna defend your man. I respect that. I respect
So,
that.
my unbiased, and this is me being unbiased. It's not going to sound believable because of the tantrum that I just threw, but we're going to move. So, my unbiased, unleaded opinion is Jackson's. Okay, so for me, it's because Jackson's range for genre is so big. Jackson, there's not a sound that Jackson hasn't touched almost at this point, especially with the newest one with Blow. He hit on like a really nostalgic alternative rock, very like Panic at the Disco kind of vibe that I was never expecting, but loved it nonetheless. Completely obsessed. You get visuals and you get performance and you get great quality music whenever you deal with him, especially seeing the evolution from his earlier work, i.e. Papillon, and now. When it comes to stuff that he's released, and then also, I don't know if you guys checked out the group that he does, the hip hop group with Pan the Pack, but he does incredible stuff with like other artists too, and those artists are talented all in their own right. And he kind of like this guy's like doing solo, and he's doing a group, he's doing rock, and then he's doing hip hop. Like I just really like that he doesn't shy away from any aspect of it, and I feel like to me, he's got something for all of your vibes. Like you don't have to be in a certain mood to listen to Jackson. You can pick something, an era of his, a project of his, an EP, a single, whatever it is. So his, and then for me, next would probably be Bam Bam.
Period.
His music to me is more similar to like NANANA. His sound to me, I know you like, you guys are kind of saying Young Jay's music is kind of more similar to GOT7, but when I feel like the funkiness and that kind of like, for the lack of like a better description, like that J-Bum style of pop that he does for GOT7, it's so similar to Bam Bam when he did like Ribbon. It's very, it gives me a similar vibe to like NANANA. Not the same sound, but like just the vibe. And even the music video was so similar to Bam Bam's music videos. It kind of reminds you of like a lullaby type of music video, like that really dreamlike kind of world that he kind of does in his videos. And I feel like Bam Bam next would be for me, and then next would maybe be like J-Bum and Yugyeom and Youngjae kind of like tied. I have to just be in a mood to listen to like that kind of music. I like R&B, but just like the type of R&B that J-Bum and Yugyeom do is like it's real R&B. Like you really have to be in an R&B mood to do that for me personally.
Yeah.
Me listening to J-Bum's album like on the daily, like
like I gotta be in my feelings.
I wanna switch it up. every day. I'm obsessed with it.
To Jackson's credit, I will say that I, like as a fan and just like, and also objectively, I can say that, I think it's pretty admirable, just like his willingness to just try out a bunch of stuff. And, in recent interviews, like he's been talking about how he felt kind of lost and that he's trying to like figure out who he is as an artist, and that maybe Magic Man is kind of like that first introduction into what is what Jackson wants or where he's at right now. Because the thing for me was that since Papillon, like he's just kind of been all over the place. And I think that as songs had come out, I can be like, oh, okay, yeah, like that's cool that he did that, and that's cool that he directed this music video, and it's cool that he like recruited all these people. But just on a personal level, I don't seek out his music, but it's more like I honestly can't tell you why. It's just like, Blow comes out, I'm like, that's a really cool music video, and like, everything he did really cool, but I'm just not gonna listen to that song. And if it comes on my shuffle, like I'm probably gonna skip it after the 20 seconds. Like, okay, get your stream and then on to the next song. But I am really looking forward to Magic Man. And on Bam Bam was my favorite for like the longest time. But but their EPs and their albums have been out for a while, and I just think that I've just gotten really cozy with JB's. But I think that it's, like that Stockholm syndrome of like he's my favorite. So,
Stockholm syndrome.
It's like, he's my bias, I gotta support.
I mean, I do like it, but it was just like, I've been on other podcasts where I'm just like, I'm always there like, oh, like Bam Bam's No Air is like the best like GOT7 solo song, and now I'm kind of like, I'm just gonna go and listen to by the way, because that's like my comfort song. But yeah, but it's just so funny that we've been talking about like all of them. just like not
right.
Yeah, except Mark.
Oh, Mark.
Sorry, Mark.
Oh yeah, Mark. Oh my God, don't do that. Stop. Okay. Pause.
I love Last Breath though. I love Last Breath. To his credit, I'll listen to Last Breath and not to Jackson. So I don't know what that says about me.
So I would like to apologize to Marcus. I love Mark. Mark's music, to me, it's like every other song is like, I like this song, and then it's like the other one is like, okay, yeah, get your, like you said, get your stream, but it's not really my shine. So then I'll go to the next one. So like it just really just depends with me for Mark on like what it is. But he's finding his own thing, and considering like his position wasn't to do singing in GOT7, he also has been really brave and like trying sounds and putting out music and seeing what works for him. And I watched his interview where he was like doing the interview of himself, and he was talking about how like that was a really good interview. It was really cool to see like what he's been thinking all these years since he did not talk.
I couldn't get through it. So
wait, what interview is this, Kiki?
It's Mark Ton interviewing himself.
Okay, I haven't watched that.
It's really good. It's a really good
I started
interview,
watching that,
honestly.
and I was like, who thought this was a good idea? That man doesn't talk.
No,
but now that you
seriously.
say that it got better, like I will go back and
keep going. It actually is really interesting. He asks his own self questions, and it's really cool because it's probably questions he's wanted people to ask him, but they never did. So you get to really hear him talk about things that he's never said before. And he said one time, like, he's not a technical singer. He doesn't go crazy on tracks because that's not what he is, but he thinks his stuff is simple, and he thinks that's why people like it. So I think there's a simplicity with Mark, and there's like an exploration of him as an artist by himself, because he's really never had to do things alone so much, or never been known as a performer in GOT7. So I think that that's really cool that he gets to do that. So I do want to say that about Mark. And lastly, Bam Bam's Slow Mo is not regarded as a pop hit the way that it should be. That song is incredible.
Right.
I think with Mark's sound, I don't know if this is so mean to say, but there's a very distinct sound that K-pop idols from LA make, and I just feel like it's so repetitive, and all of them make the same kind of like music on their own. So like all those like LA pop stars, every time they're like, oh yeah, this is my SoundCloud with all my songs, like every single one of them sounds the same to me. And that's how I feel about Mark's songs. I love Mark, but I'm just like,
Hacks.
But it happens, okay? Like it's not, you're not gonna like all of their styles.
It's
like
true.
whenever, for example, Jackson, whenever he does like that heavy hip hop, I'm just like, all right, get your coin. If you want to do it. But that's not the type of music that I listen to on the regular. So I'm probably not gonna go listen to it on the daily.
Right.
Versus like, you know, a slow like lo-fi or R&B or whatever,
Right.
like I'll be like, okay, yeah, like I listen to this on the daily. But it's cool. I love that all of them are able to do what they want now and put out the music that they've been wanting to, and you know, appeal to other masses besides like AHGASE, you know, like GOT7 fans.
Yeah.
So it's just good to see, because then it's people like, well, maybe there's some people out there that got really into Panda Pack, and then they were just like, oh dang, like Jackson, like it's in another group, blah blah blah, and then, you know, they got into it that way. So it's just, you know, appealing to other masses, which I think it's great, because all of them bring something different. Even now, like with this EP, you can tell, like even in the way that they're dressed and things like that they're dressing how they would want to, not like, you know what I mean? Sometimes in GOT7 they would be wearing things that, yeah, it would be them, but it was more like costumey, like, hey, y'all got a match. But now it's like, you can tell that it's just like, I dressed myself this morning.
You know what was one of the most heartbreaking things for me personally about like GOT7 leaving JYP?
What?
Once I started seeing like JB's content, I was just like, I am never gonna see this man in a skinny jean ever again.
Yeah, no, you're right. Oh,
That's over. You know, I'm never gonna see some gel on his hair, and I have to, you know, like reconcile that idea that, you know, he likes baggy clothes, and you know, like I'm never gonna see that well put together. So when he walked for the press conference and he was wearing a skinny jean, I lost my shit. And also like that little crop jacket moment. So it's like, yes, I really like seeing them, you know, like on the music video, like the styling was way more relaxed, but for those promotions, I was just like, yes, thank you for giving us JB from GOT7 and not JB / Def / you know,
/ everybody else.
/ all his fragments of his personalities.
Stop it.
Like, thank you for giving me, like, you know, single letter JB.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us D.
GOT7.
now that we got a GOT7 comeback, who do you think's next? Just 2 or JJP?
Oh my god.
I'm praying for JJP, honestly, because listen, like I mentioned earlier, we have the impending doom soon, and I need another album from them. I need another existential crisis in an album. Like, I need that.
I need both, and I'm gonna be greedy because this is my nature. So I need both.
I mean, no, same. Actually, same. No, girl, Just 2, that album?
Yeah, I don't think anybody understands. Like, people literally listen to Just 2 who don't even like just off of reactions. I like to go look at reactions to see what public opinions are. Like, also, I want to say, like, people who are, like, outside parties to this whole AHGASE shit are so in love with Just 2. They are like, are you kidding me? This existed and I didn't know? Like, they're shook. Because it was so good. Like, and I could not, to this day, I cannot believe JYP let them do that shit. I can't believe it.
Same.
It's too good.
I can't even believe what they were going through. Yeah. You know, like, who was sleeping with them? Like, thank you. I salute them. Like, thank you. You did the Lord's work, you know? Like, that album is, I mean, EP is just, you know,
it's so good.
To this day, I think about that song, the coffee, whatever.
Long
like,
Black.
It's such a good song. Long Black. My God.
Oh.
And it's the same thing. Every time I listen to Just 2, all I think about is, damn, how do I get in line for the to be that bitch? Write a song about me next. Like, I don't care. Like,
put me in, coach. Put me in.
I can do it.
Like, put me in, coach.
Put me in next, coach.
I'm ready. But yeah, honestly, yeah, I want both of them. But I feel like JJP might be, because I think that Jin Young is saying in a lot of his interviews, like, and even I think at the fan con, he was like, I've missed being on stage, because he went straight into acting.
Yep.
I mean, he released, Drive, but it was just that, a single. So he was just the one that missed the stage the most. He said, like, he was like emotional, like, being there. He was the most eager to, like, I want to go and sing, like, I've missed this so much. So I wouldn't be surprised if after the show he's just like, all right, J-Bum, so JJP went the album, we gonna start it right now.
I just feel, I'm so confident that we're gonna get it though, because why would J-Bum go through all of the work to trade to the copyrights for both if they weren't gonna do anything with it?
Oh, definitely not. Like, there was a tweet going around, it was just like, dang, JB really said, I'm taking the whole house, the kitchen, the laundry with me.
He unscrewed the light bulbs out of every fixture.
He said, I'm taking everything and I'm coming back for the rest.
It was a divorce settlement. It was a divorce settlement. That man went in with divorce lawyers and he was like, I want my name, I want my kids, I want all that shit.
God, he went and unplugged all the lamps. He took all that shit out of there.
Yeah, he said, what have you done for me? What have you done for me? Okay, I'm the breadwinner here. Okay, look at this track list.
This building right here, GOT7 bought it.
That elevator you just put in,
man,
you're welcome. Okay, that was girls. Give me that shit. Give me that shit right now.
That chair over there, that was A.
Okay. Y'all remember those damn dramas you put me in? I'm taking this refrigerator with me too. That's for Dream High and Dream Night. We're taking the fridge and freezer combo.
Dream High, that's for Dream High 2 and Dream Night.
Let's go.
God.
Oh my God.
I love that.
I just love that he's like talking about it so civil, because obviously like it's a good thing not to burn your bridges.
Yeah.
But I just know that they talk the most shit like when they're on their own time, and if it's anything like the fans have always just been like, screw you, JYP, like I don't give a shit. If anything, I would like burn down this building. And JB's like, can y'all calm down? We're like, no, we're not.
No. He's a Capricorn. I know he wants it to burn just like we do. I know he does.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the album, everybody.
Woo! Self-titled.
Yes.
We love it.
GOT7.
A rebrand.
GOT7. Let's go track by track.
Can we just start off with just like a round of applause for them?
Yes.
For this?
Yes.
Because, wow.
You're right.
Incredible
rebrand. Incredible EP. No skips.
Yes.
Love this.
No skips.
Yes.
Bought 7 copies. Unhinged.
She got all.
I was so glad when I saw that it was an EP, because like maybe this is my unpopular take, but I just think that GOT7 always did their best on EPs.
Yeah, you're right, girl. Because
Yeah.
LPs were not in.
I don't know.
The albums, sometimes it was just like too many skips for me. But EPs, it was just like
Perfect.
4 good songs. So when I saw there was an EP, I just knew that it was just like, it's going to be the best songs and not just like, oh, I did this because it sounded cool. Oh yeah, add it into the track list. Fuck it. So
that was me with like some of the solo songs. Now the unit songs I was here for. When I'm talking specifically about like Present You and Me, but like, yeah, I agree.
there are songs from that album that come up on my shuffle and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Like,
and then it's like Present You, and I'm like, oh, that's why. That's why.
Yeah, don't ask me what Party sounds like, because I don't know.
Okay, no. Party's great.
Okay, so this is when we start drawing the line at Party? No. We're not drawing the line at Party. If that's the case, then Papillon deserves a Grammy.
You know what? That's not my hill. I'll let it go.
She said, I'm not dying on that one. I'm not dying on that
Yeah,
hill
no.
specifically. I'm not doing
She said Papillon deserves a Grammy.
It's like me and
Anyway.
Terica without. Man, bitch, I hate that. Oh, God.
Okay, listen. Out has its time and its place, and it's at the end of the concert. That is the time and that is the place.
Yeah, the end of the concert so I can leave and not worry about it. That's why it's at the end of the concert.
I made Out my alarm for like 1 year because it was so crazy that I had to wake up and turn it off. So that... It was very effective. I was not late for work.
Okay, so that's how I feel about Shopping Mall at times.
No.
I know everybody loves this song. I only like this song when I am at a concert. I will go off. Do I go and listen to this song in my free time? No. I do not. Unless it comes on Shuffle and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'll leave it on.
I feel betrayed.
That's a strictly GOT7 live song. That's it.
True.
Shopping
That's
mall,
fair.
right?
Rights for shopping mall.
Shopping mall is the truth. I'm sorry, Carolina, you are outnumbered on this one because
Yeah,
shopping
you
mall.
really are. It's 3-1 here.
I've always been outnumbered in this.
Bling bling seeing bag. Are you kidding me? Like no.
So anyway, GOT7, the EP.
The EP, yes. Track number 1, Truth, written by Def.
This is just my thoughts on Truth.
This is your truth?
I love the song, but Jackson's rap is the best part of the song.
And that's saying a lot.
Agreed.
When he said, "Bae, come to mi casa," I said, "You right. You right. I will." He said, "Jane, I'm Tarzan." I said, "Yes, okay." Bring it up. I don't know. I really love Jackson's rap in this. It's my favorite part of the song. Like, the flow is just really good. I think JB was the one that did something with the song, and
He wrote it.
okay, so yeah. So he always gives Jackson like the best parts, and I love it.
Yes.
But also I think it was a great opening song for this EP because, like, you know how they were teasing those pictures like with the construction worker and all that stuff, but there's like nothing related to that in the music video. It's because they put it in this song. They have the construction beats going on in this one, but like that's the only way I can describe it. But I freaking love it. I really think that this is a really good song to start with.
Yeah.
Like the first time that I heard the EP, I was kind of like, my first impression was like, oh, like the first half is like the GOT7 that we know, and the second half is like the GOT7 then, you know, we're now kind of seeing for the first time. But then I was re-listening to it this morning, and then I was going through the credits and Truth, and I mean, we'll get to the other songs later, but then I was just like, no, like the songs that JB wrote for this album, like they're very, very GOT7, like very B-side GOT7 from like JYP, and we'll get into it when we hit the single. But it was kind of like yeah, like he was doing a lot of the GOT7 songs even in JYP, so they are familiar. They're just, you know, stripped of that JYP sound. But yeah, Truth is really cool because it's like JB leaning more onto his like R&B side, which was always present in GOT7, but it was never like the main feature or anything like that. And now we're kind of seeing that a little bit more while still remaining true to, you know, the JYP GOT7.
Yeah, because that's why I think that it was a good intro track, because it's like we're continuing on and we'll progress and change as we continue through the EP type of thing. It's the truth. It's a good song.
The truth is
the truth is that it's a good song.
For me, it was Jin Young. Jin Young's vocals in this were beautiful.
Yes.
I actually really liked Mark in this song too. I know, shocking, right? I really liked Mark in this song.
Oh my God.
Mark has his moments.
No, he really does. He really does.
I won't lie to y'all. I be clowning Mark like it's my job, and that's because I love Mark.
This
Yeah.
is true.
I be clowning him.
This is
We
true.
clown him all the time.
It's out of love, though.
It's out of love.
But okay, I just had like one thing with the truth. Same thing with Kat. It's Jin Young's vocals for me. It was the highlight of the song. It felt like Jin Young's song. But honestly, to me, Jin Young shined so much in this album. We'll get to it when we get to the other tracks. But Jin Young's vocals were the shining part for me with this song. So that's what I have to say. I really liked it. It was a great start to a great album.
I think because Jin Young, like I mentioned, like he was so eager
Yes.
to come back. Like he put his whole, like, you know how they say that you put your whole foot in it. He put his whole body in this album. Like he was just
He
like
put his whole Jin Young in this album.
Yeah.
He did. Yes,
my
he
God.
did.
He like body slammed into this album. He said, "We gonna make this good."
Now that you guys say that, I will say that as a JB stan, one thing that has always frustrated me about JB songs is that he gives all the lines away to like everyone.
Everyone.
Oh yeah.
And he like keeps, you know, like the back vocals. And he always, and yes, he always gives Jin Young the best lines. Like, I'm sick
best
of it.
lines.
Yep. Jin
I'm
Young and
sick of it.
Jackson.
I'm telling you, they're gonna be like, when one of them gets married, the other one's gonna be, you know, that meme of the little kid that's just like, happy for you, I'm so glad for you, but they're mad. That's gonna be them. Like, and then the back, they're just like, what the heck? What about our JJP? What about
What about us?
God.
What about it? It's just like, I know Jin Young was so upset when JB was like, okay, I'm gonna do a thing with, you know, Yugyeom. You cool with that? Jin Young was like, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's
no, it's
fine.
It's not like we release another JJP album or anything, but cool. You have fun with that.
Not at all.
No, it's fine. Drive Me to the Moon. Ooh, Drive Me to the Moon.
Ooh, Drive Me to the Moon.
Young Jay's song.
Shout out to him because he's the cutest human being for being like, we can do everything. Like, GOT7 can do everything if we have AHGASE, so we can even go to the moon. And I was just like, why? You are the cutest.
In the press conference, which in hindsight, like, I know this is 1,000% me being, you know, like an AHGASE and just like clapping at anything that Young Jay does. But for the press conference, he was talking about how, you know, like, this isn't the first time that he's used the moon as like a motif in his songs. And he was saying like that he really likes to write about the moon because like the moon, you know, like changes, like it has different facets, and like he relates that to people and to life and how, you know, it changes and you can't really predict it. And I was just like, yes, honey, yes. He's so deep. Like, oh my God.
That made my Cancer ass so happy.
Exactly.
That made my Cancer self so happy.
And honestly, I feel like right now, May 28th, this is my favorite song on the EP. Because it's the song that sounds like I kept thinking how I really like Jung Jae's songs because they're always like very uplifting and very like positive, and you know, and I think Carolina and I talked about this when Young Jae released his album, that we were like, this could have been a GOT7 album. Like, this sounds like GOT7. So this song, I found myself re-listening into it, and I was like, yeah, because this is the song that sounds the most like GOT7 to me, like the GOT7 that we know, let's say.
Yeah.
So I'm just really happy that we have a Jung Jae song on this EP.
Same. I love when I see ours on the album, like, yes, because I know the song's about to be good. And literally, like, I wrote the same thing. I think this song has GOT7 written all over it, like their style and sound. And I don't know if this is just me being like too into it or Delulu, but there is a lyric that says like, until the full moon rise, and I was just like, is this in reference to before the full moon rises?
Oh my God.
Are we going back to that? And I was just like, am I crazy? Did they meant that intentionally, or am I just making shit up? But I love it. I think that it's just such a very like sweet song, and again, it just has that GOT7 sound that we know.
So like, this is Young Jae's song to me, like in more ways than one, because like, yeah, it's his song, but then also vocally it felt like it was his song too. So like, he really shined on this song to me, and like with him like referencing the moon and saying that he likes to reference the moon, like even before they had like all of their hands and like kind of doing music for GOT7, they were doing songs referencing the moon. Like Carolina said, before the full moon rises, or things that have to do with kind of like things in space, like 2-star, like they always kind of have
like universe,
like kind of like universe type of things. So like I really like that motif that he has going on, and I feel like it's just a really, really good song, and it's such a GOT7 sounding song, like you said.
And Young Jae does the opposite of JB. If Young Jae does a song on an album, like, you're gonna hear him, like you'll know that this is his song.
Like, this is my
I love that for him.
He said, this is mine. This is mine.
Love
and I love
that.
that.
Yes.
Line 5 through 8, that's me. Line 9 through 12, that's also me. You guys can get something in between there. Like,
but
I'll
everything
let you
else,
have an ad lib.
He like writes everything. He's like, oh, you can't hit these notes. Like, you can't. I have to do them. It's only
I have
me.
to do them.
I have to do them.
That's it.
He's like, can you go a little higher? One more no? Okay, I'll just do it. I'll just do the part. It's fine. I'll just do it.
Literally.
Don't strain yourself. Don't lose your voice over
They get in
this song.
they get in the booth and clear their throat. He's like, no, you don't sound like you're up for it right now. That's okay. I'll go ahead and do that.
Also, I wanna congratulate whatever flute player in Korea is getting all these jobs.
Stop.
We got some more flute in here. The same flute player in Sticker probably.
Oh my God.
I don't know. They are employed because everybody got some flutes lately. There's flutes everywhere.
Love that for them.
I don't know if they like wrote Lizzo. They're like, hey girl.
I was literally just about to say, thank you, Lizzo, because you are the one who made flute popular again.
Literally, she gave that flute a popularity. Thank you for your service, because it is coming in clutch in K-pop, and I love it. I love the flute. I'm like, oh,
same.
When I heard it, I was like, oh my God. It's time for the title track.
Woo! Yes,
I'm so excited
for NANANA. What a song! I'll let y'all speak first.
Oh my God,
go ahead, speak your truths.
I feel, first of all, okay, so
thank you, Carolina. JB looked great. No,
You're right. No, I just got a couple things to say, aka why are we like this? I've realized that like GOT7 is so emo for AHGASE the same way that AHGASEs are emo for GOT7.
They're
like
simps.
this whole
They
music
are
video.
simps for AHGASEs.
Like they are simps for AHGASE, just like we are simps for them. It's great. Doing all the birds. Why y'all they brought so many birds. There was a damn peacock in there.
Don't even. I'm gonna tear up.
Where was the shoe bill though?
You're right.
Just
You're
kidding.
right.
Just kidding. Those things are
In hell where it belongs. I will never forgive Jin Young for that shit.
Yes, I was like, just kidding. No.
But I just like all the symbolism that they put in this music video. Not only that, but it's like they're building this new home, like they're building a new house for
I love that.
AHGASEs and for them themselves, and they're like trying to decorate it and like make it their own. And I was just like tears. If it tells y'all anything, I did a reaction for this. It would be posted on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
I cried.
Oh my god.
8 seconds in. 8 seconds in, I saw JB smiling the way that he was smiling, and I lost it. I was just like, he's so happy. They're all so happy together. Like, and that's what killed me. That's what killed me the most. I was like, I can't even imagine what it is going from a group that's chaotic as GOT7 for so many years all together to then going to pure silence. You're doing everything by yourself.
Ugh.
Like, I can't even imagine. I think Jackson mentioned how it was so weird and he felt like he had to be all professional for everything. He couldn't like goof around with nobody because they wouldn't vibe with him the same way. To them, seeing them all together, like the video was simple. It was simple, but then seeing them all together dancing together and like laughing, I was just like, that's it.
It was simple, but it was really well done. And it had definitely. Depth, and there was a budget, honey. Thank you.
Yes,
finally.
Yes, no green screen up in here. There was actual water where JB was standing. Okay,
there was an actual set. Like, just the set. I was like, wow. They put live birds in there. Wow. Haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, and the effects were, like, so big. Like, it was a produced video. Like, it's nothing about that video was not produced, but, like, and, like, edited. Mm-hmm. But it was so tastefully done, and it was pretty. Like, it wasn't, like, cheap CGI and cheap green screen. Like, this was, like, somebody labored over. Do we know who did the video? Because it gave me like Digi-Petty vibes.
I don't know who did the video.
I meant to look at it before I did this, but I forgot. But it's kind of like up to that quality.
The only thing I know is that there were rumors that Bam Bam had something to do with it too, in the sense of like direction. But I don't know if that was ever confirmed.
Aesthetically, like it would make sense.
Yeah,
just like going off of a ribbon.
Because like I said, it's just like it's just like Slow Mo and Ribbon music videos. They're so similar to NANANA.
Wow, for me, NANANA, like, oh wow, where to begin? Like, I mean, I'm not much of a crier or anything. Like, I just, like bottle everything up and just like feel it a lot inside of myself. But I think that, like I did the press conference, and even though it was like filmed with like a fucking iPhone 3 in like, I don't dial up internet. It was just so bad. But I was listening to the song, and I was like, they're so smart, because like they know that the side of GOT7 that like, I don't want to say real AHGASEs, but like most AHGASEs, people who have been there for a while, like the side of GOT7 that we would connect with the most was that side of them that was like they're
having fun,
happy.
Yeah, like they're off stage personas on the stage. So like teenager, Paige.
Yes.
Thursday, and they were like, we're gonna do something in that respect, like even you remember back in Eclipse that we were all like, why wasn't Paige the
title song,
the single,
the title track,
why wasn't it Paige? Why did it have to be Eclipse? Well, now we got our Paige title single, and I was just like, and I was so happy, and I was like, yeah, they understand that that's we obviously love like the performance aspect of GOT7, but this one was always the one that felt the most genuine. Like the other like Never Ever and like all of these songs are like Hard Carry, like they're great performers and they do it well, but AHGASE is always connected more with like this other side, like the B-sides. So getting NANANA, I was just like, they're so fucking smart, and they like listen to us and they know, and and I kept going back to Eclipse because I was like, this is what a title song by them is without JYP as a company, their input, like I kept thinking about those interviews that they did where they were like, we liked Eclipse more when it was just JB's version, you know? So it was like, this is what a GOT7 single sounds without all of that extraness into it. And that's where I was like, oh my God, like it just feels like it felt like really reassuring as a fan, and just like happy for them. Like, wow, like you now have the space and the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what made it so great. Seeing them being able to decide, like, damn, not fight with somebody like their company or something about what they want as a single versus what the company wants, like, that's like the best, because they know their fandom the best. So but this was great. I freaking love the song, and again, cried like a little bitch. What's up? Hey.
Yeah, and going back to them like being really happy, it's just like that. Those were the moments in the music video that also just like, you know, that it just warmed my little cold Capricorn heart. It was just like, you know, you can you know, differentiate between like an onstage smile and like a genuine smile. And there were like a lot of clips where, you know, like you can see them kind of like laughing, like genuinely just laughing, you know. Some of them, it wasn't like, you know, some of them were, you know, like in the moment dancing or in their part, but you would, you know, kind of look to the side and there was like fucking Jackson, like, or Jin Young, like doing a face, you know. And it's just like, and even like beyond like what they've been doing to promote it, it's just like, even JB, like I would say he does not laugh and act a fucking fool and do all this shit by himself. Like they only do it with GOT7. Like that's the only, or even Jackson, like you only see him doing Aegyo with GOT7. Like you don't really So for me, it has been everything, especially the music video where you can just see them really like genuinely happy. I'm just so happy that this is happening.
So with me, NANANA was kind of everything that I ever kind of hoped for with the GOT7 title. But like Alexis said, we never got to have our way, like where like we all latched on to songs like Thursday and Come On and Page and stuff like that, and we never thought we would have our moment like where that would be the title, and like that's the song that's representing the EP, representing the mini album, representing the album, whatever it is. We never thought we'd ever get that flagship song for the album, and we finally got it. It's kind of like when you're an adult and you've always wanted, like when you were a kid, you wanted something really bad and you never got to get it, so when you were grown and you had your own money, you bought it yourself. It's kind of like what this moment kind of felt like, as like, okay, we were like kids when they were in JYP and we were always kind of asking for things and never getting what we wanted, and then now they've kind of graduated from that, they're on their own thing, we're all kind of like grown out of that part of our lives, and now we're finally getting the things that we want, things that we deserve, as like them as artists and then us as fans, because like us as fans, we've always really wanted what they've wanted. It's always kind of been very on the same page, which is really, really cool. So the music video was everything that I've ever wanted from a music video. I always used to look at other groups because GOT7 always was so like incredibly captivating, even without all the other things that some other groups would get. But I used to always wish for things for them. Like I used to always look at other like groups music videos and be like, wow, GOT7 would do so well if they got to get like a budget in a music video like that. If they were ever awarded the opportunity to get something like that, they would do so well. If GOT7 were able to like either work with really good producers or allow them to do their own productions, or producers that they pick, they would have a song like this or a song like that. Or if they had more control, they could have a title track like this. Like, and now we're getting it, and it's like, it's so rewarding. Like, I'm just really happy about it.
It's just so nice to see like the kind of like circle going back, because I think back to I think it was like Eclipse, the one that they just used, like it was like green screen most of it, and it was just like weird. It was like, you have JYP has so much money, they brought so much money to JYP, and they were just still treated like shit, because I feel like at one point they're like, well, we don't know what to do with you because you're past the age of like where groups are famous, but you guys are still famous, so what do we do? So they just gave them crumbs, and we're like, can you? And obviously like we don't know what was happening behind the scenes, but in the end product we can see that it was not the same for them versus with other groups. So so this was just, I feel like they were able to put a lot of meaning into this, a lot of like, maybe NANANA, like I don't know what the story behind the writing process for it, like if it was like, oh, I'm gonna write this directly for like AHGASE or like GOT7, or you know, like I don't know if that was the thought process when making this song, but the fact that they're able to take the song and make it meaningful to our relationship, or like, you know, our relationship with them, like the fans and GOT7, was just beautiful to me. me. I feel like, you know, including all of the symbolism, even at the end, like the heart that shows up, it's really coming from JB's like heart, like his like shirt or whatever. Like it was just like little things. Also, I just want to say that Jin Young with those glasses, baby.
He looked like a whole father. I loved it.
He did look. He looked like
Dad core.
Yes,
Dad core.
Every reaction video of this music video has been like, so when is he gonna bust out of that sweater? Because he looks ripped. No, it's true. They were like, literally, people were like, so he's gonna turn into the Hulk, right? Is he Clark Kent? Like, that's what everybody was saying when they were watching like his part where he came up on screen. Jin Young looks great. I don't know what he's hiding underneath that knit sweater, but I'm scared of it.
I need a drama to tell me where is the. I need Jin Young to act in a drama where he's like just a cocky like volleyball player or something, taking off his shirt every 5 seconds. I need that.
Volleyball player specifically.
A volleyball player.
I don't know, girl. Something.
I just remember something else. Well, we were lusting over Jin Young, but when the first time, because honestly, in the press conference, like I didn't pay that much attention because I was like tweeting and like translating what was happening. But when I first watched the music video, I think that the thing that, you know, from the get-go that I was just like, okay, was just Jookyum's low register in his vocals.
Yes.
Because it was just like, who is this? You know? I was like, excuse me? And I think they mentioned in the press conference of how they just lowered, you know, the vocal register for all of them. And I don't know if they did it for Jackson or I don't care why they did it. I think that I really liked
Genius.
it. It was genius, especially with Yugyeom because, you know, he's talked about how lately he's been trying to like get more into singing because when he was in JYP, like that just wasn't his role. You know, he was a dancer. So he never really like worked on that. And also it made me think about, I think it was at JB's radio program where he was saying that he didn't know what was going to happen once GOT7 got back together. Well, not got back together, but when they worked together, because like all the rappers were singers now. It's like, who's gonna rap? So when I saw Jackson singing, I was just like, that's really cool that it was like, you know, because it seems like Jackson wants to move away from the rapping. So he was given like a singing part and in the chorus. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And the part that I remember from the press conference, I think they said they lowered it, the register. I think it was JB who was talking about it. He was saying it was supposed to be like a comfortable sound or something like that, like a relax or something like that. And that was why he decided to make everything lower and not like higher. So it wasn't like so technical.
And JB sounds the best in like lower, in his lower register.
Yes, he does.
I think Yugyeom does too.
I've always
Yugyeom
said
too.
that whenever JB sings really high, I'm just like, not my fave. Like, not my fave. But, you know, this one is just like low and sexy.
Yes.
It was perfect.
It's great.
So good.
I think it's because also like high registers in K-pop is kind of like the thing. Like it's
Yes.
everyone's voice is high and squeaky and like you know. So
I never understood that part, like why they want like everybody to sing in such a high key.
Me either.
But yeah, but also JB, I see what you did there with the song, writing these lyrics, because at first I was just like, oh yeah, nah, 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 and then it was just like, we talk about us just naturally, including a bit of naughty talks, and I was like, oh, do we?
Yeah.
But then I think about
He's an Earth sign girl.
yeah, I know. But again, I go back to that. Like, I don't know if the intention when writing the song was about, you know, like, let's make this very, like, about AHGASE, GOT7, whatever. But it just, like, the little lyrics, like, things like that. Because when I read that lyric, I started laughing. Because I think about even just, like, them on Twitter, like, Bam Bam. Like, the way that he flirts with AHGASE is, like...
No K-pop group thirsts for their fans more than GOT7 do.
Literally,
Yeah.
that tweet.
Yeah.
The tweet that went viral, that was just like, what group is more with
Yes.
for their fans? And everybody's just like, GOT7,
Yes.
NCT, and I think, what was it, Monsta X?
Yes, it was those are the three worst ones, honestly. But GOT7 just with Bam Bam alone.
But GOT7 is like they are standalone in that department. Like they
Yeah, just with Bam Bam
Jesus.
alone, bro. Bam Bam has like 50 wives. Like,
Bam Bam has hit on like 12 of our friends. Let me tell you.
I'm one of them. I had to input
That's
my
true.
own. I literally put my own tweet in that thread because I was like, I can't. I have to share this.
it's true. Bam Bam came to snatch Kiara at that concert, bro.
Oh
Like, that shit,
my
that video,
God.
iconic.
Bam Bam's come for like 12 of our friends. Like, he collecting them. them like Pokemon.
Yeah, but anyways, GOT7, yes, you're great. NANANA, I love it. I freaking love it.
Another hit.
Build that new home. Thank you.
Our new birdhouse.
Another one.
Like when Bad Bunny tweeted, like, no, track number 1,
Oh,
follow. Track number
Track
2,
number 2,
follow.
follow. Yeah, that's this one. That's this one.
We're gonna talk about the song I want to know the tea about. We're gonna talk about 2.
Ooh.
Oh, 2.
Yeah. Listen,
Yes.
if you need a friend to talk tea with, hit me up, notyouraveragefangirls@gmail.com.
It's NYAFangirls@gmail.com, but that's okay.
It's okay. Either one works. It's okay. I'll make a new email just for the tea.
For the tea.
Make a new email just for the tea. Because I need to know. Because the way they was looking at each other when he was talking about it, they were like, The way Bam Bam looked at the camera, he said, And I said, tell me the tea, my Taurus brother. Tell me what's going on. Tell me right now.
They know.
Let's go. Let's talk.
They
know. Bam Bam knows.
Bam Bam
because he
knows
the best friend.
everything.
He the best friend. So
Yep.
I know Yu-Gi-Oh was like, bro, like this bitch. And Bam Bam was like,
Bam Bam probably was the one that, you know what, you should make a song about it.
My
he was
God.
like, let it out.
Because,
bro, let it
Bam Bam's
out.
also a businessman, so he's like, you should get some profit.
Get that coin.
You're right. Tauruses, we are all about the money. We're all about the money. We're like, you know what?
We're not suffering for free.
Honestly, the only thing I said when I first heard this song was, why is Yu-Gi-Oh always horny on Maine? Always.
Stop it.
Always. Always. There is not one Yu-Gi-Oh song that you don't listen to it without listening to, like, without reading the lyrics or anything.
Yeah.
And your first thought is not,
Yeah.
damn, he talking about fucking. Like, literally. every song he releases, you're just like,
It's
yeah.
red flag after red flag.
you know, you go read the lyrics and it's just like, oh, like, I'm sad and this. I'm like, okay, never mind. But, like, the feel of it from the get-go, I was like, bitch, who?
It's the subtext. It's the subtext.
Yes. Like, I'm just like, okay. But this song is great. Is incredible. Yu-Gi-Oh! Always amazing.
Yes.
I will say that this was the one song that I felt like didn't sound, like wasn't reminiscent of earlier GOT7, but it still
definitely
fit. And it was still like, I appreciate, Yu-Gi-Oh! Bringing this wholeness into GOT7.
Same.
Because we know they do it well. So we just need it, worked into the concept. So if this is like, just a little taste, and whenever we get another EP or album, if there's more of it, I welcome it.
I agree.
Agreed.
I just know that there's a line in here. I wrote it down because it says, it's Jin Young's line when he's like, I promise you that I'll give you more of me. And I was just like, why are you whispering that in my ear? You don't, like, what? Like, I was just taken aback. Like, this song was too much for me, but I love it. I love it so much. So obviously I'm just going to keep listening to it. But it's just like the lyrics, the feel of it, like the vibe of it. I was just like, wow. And y'all are not going to perform this? How you gonna do that?
That's how I feel. And then also, like, this is not GOT7's first song named 2. They have a song named 2 from the New Era Japanese album, but this new 2 has dethroned the old 2 as my favorite 2 in their discography because
oh my God,
it is so good.
Wait, the Japanese 2 though?
Yes,
that's
so good.
That song is so good though.
It's so good. But they had to do it. They did 2 of them, named 2, and I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind later. Maybe I'm still like in that bliss of having this album in general, and that's why I'm holding this one so much higher. But like, this is so good. Like, it is, like, I wasn't sure if it was gonna be my favorite song on the album, but I think it's up there along with another track that we haven't gotten to yet. So I'll get to that one. But this one is up there for me. NANANA is high up for me, which is shocking because usually it's not a title track for me from their old albums, but in this new era of GOT7, NANANA easily is a favorite on the album for me out of all the songs, but 2 is like right next to it.
I just want to know the tea though.
Me too.
I just hate
I'm
like
nosy.
reading the lyrics, and it's when he was trying to explain it too, when he was just like, like, it's somebody like forgetting about me and ignoring me. I was like, who's doing all that? Because like just makes no sense.
Oh, I don't remember what song it was, but JB was talking about it, and it was like, oh, I think it was Truth, that he was like, oh, this was a song about some feelings that I used to have. and I don't have them anymore. But now I'm applying them to AHGASE. And I'm like, what are these feelings though? Like, what
Sir,
are these?
elaborate.
Like, what provoked these feelings? Like, feelings don't just come out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I just
So,
want to know. Tell me, who's your girlfriend or boyfriend?
we can handle it. We can handle it.
Okay.
It's time now. Now's the time, GOT7. Tell us about your love lives.
Yes.
The
I
time
need to
is
tell
now.
all.
The time is now, okay? You're not under any, like, big company no more. Like, no one will hurt you. No one will hurt you anymore.
Honestly, it's just a chismosa in me. Like, I just want to know things, and I just need to know that, like, yeah. I just need to know. That's it.
I just need to know.
GOT7, if y'all ever listen to this, y'all just started like a whole conspiracy theory in the AHGASE world. I already saw the theory that Jin Young is married and already got a kid. Like,
I mean, he looked like a father, so I would not be surprised.
anyways, all that to say, Yugyeom, you did great, sweetie. Thank you.
So we're going to go to the 2 don'ts. First,
Don't
don't care about me.
care about me is another fave.
We hurt.
Who hurt y'all? That is.
GOT7 are always hurt, okay?
I want to say this one it's not my favorite in the album. It does remind me of their hard carry era, and I don't know why.
I was gonna say
it was a more JYP sounding song.
Yeah.
Which makes me think maybe it's old.
but quieter.
Maybe.
It might
see that.
be. It gave me the vibe. Yeah, it reminded me of like the hard carry era. But it also, when Jinyoung did Can't for Fly, this is like a long time ago.
Yes.
It also gave me that vibe, which I mean makes sense. Like Jinyoung wrote it.
Yes.
But I think it was still a good song. It's just not my favorite on the EP.
Yeah.
But I really like the lyrics on this, and I like the sound of it. But it's not my top song in the EP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but either way,
Yeah.
I'm just like, you don't care about me. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
Yeah. Now that you bring up that era, it reminded me of like Skyway.
I was gonna say that.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is
it's
like
Skyway.
one of the songs that just like I never really connected with. Not that I don't like it. It was just not a song that I would search out.
I'm so shocked.
I was
got
really
you.
mad when I couldn't see it live though.
Oh, it was so good.
Live it was great. So
Because I came in late, so I was really mad. But maybe if I'd seen it live, I would have liked it more. But it did remind me of Skyway a little bit.
but either way, I think that this still like, we're getting into kind of like Angry 7. It just reminiscent of kind of
it
like
wasn't bad.
Exactly. It wasn't bad. It's not bad at all. It's just if I look at the other songs, this one is on the top.
For me, this song, it's kind of the opposite. I actually really, really like this song. Agree with what you guys are saying, that it's reminiscent of like GOT7 and JYP, but like those songs that I liked. It gave like Skyway, kind of like felt like it almost sounded like it kind of belonged on the hard carry, the Turbulence album. That album, it sounds like it would have fit in there. I don't think it was written in that time, because I think Jin Young mentioned working on this song with Yugyeom and getting with him with that, but like it's reminiscent of that era, and also gives me some vibes production wise for Not by the Moon. The part in the breakdown at the end is very, very similar to how the production is for the chorus, where the "you don't care about me" and then the production that comes in is very similar to the sound in Not by the Moon. So yeah, it does sound like older, well, not old, but like songs that they've done already with JYP, and I think that is why I liked it so much. But it was much quieter, and it was also still, even though it had that high production in the chorus, it still didn't sound cheap, and it didn't sound tacky, because it wasn't so loud, and there wasn't so many pew pew pews going on along with everything else. And I think that's why it was so nice. And I was also saying this on Twitter, like, this is the quietest GOT7 album that we've had.
It is.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way, like in a good way. And I didn't even mind GOT7's old I loved GOT7's old music. I love their music with JYP regardless of the struggles, but like, this is a really quiet album.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I wanted to clarify that I've been talking about like, it sounds like JYP, but I love it irritates me the AHGASEs on Twitter who will discredit like everything before 7 for 7. Like, Identify Right. I fucking love that album.
Oh, Identify is fabulous.
Perfect album.
Yes.
That Identify album is incredible. Like, one of my favorite songs by GOT7 is Take My Hand. They probably don't even remember what that song is.
They don't know it. They don't know.
When they did I Like You at the fan con, I lost it. It was 4 a.m. and I was
They
screaming
did it for
in
me.
my room.
I would have lost
because
it too.
the way that I love I Like You. I wish
Yes.
they would have, like, they would re-record some of their old songs, because now
God.
that song with their vocals
no-
now,
Oh my
bitch.
God,
Yes.
don't say that.
Mhm.
Oh, that would be just kryptonite.
Exactly. So like
I
it's just
so
great.
good.
I love like identifying,
Or
like, Take My
Gimme.
Hand.
Ah.
Oh, Gimme.
Gimme.
Like, oh, we feel the one that's like, we feeling good tonight.
Good
Like,
Tonight.
oh,
Yes,
Good
Good Tonight from the A
yes,
album.
that's
so good.
Bitch, just tonight that I told them it was my whole favorite
Yes.
song, they said, "What's that?"
They really don't even remember. I've always said this about GOT7. Like, a lot of people might not like GOT7 sound, but they'll stay because the guys are just like very personable and like funny and like whatnot, and that's fine. And maybe they'll like you know, their title tracks or something, and that's completely fine. But also us and AHGASE, like, I started liking GOT7. My first comeback with them was Fly, because I got into them during If You Do.
Same.
So going back, like, yeah, there's some songs that I can't stand by them. But like, I'm just like, what the hell is this song? But there's so many other songs that are B-sides that nobody knows because they don't go and like look at their older discography. And that doesn't mean that all of their discography is bad just because I don't think that all of the songs are good.
For me, I came in during A, and but my first comeback
Bless your
was Stop It. But I came in A because I was editing a review, and I remember watching the girls and just being like, no, what the fuck is this? And just like, you know, like, no. But then I was editing a review on A, and I was just like, this sounds fun, let me watch this video. And then it was like a done deal. And I bring it back to being very irritated by people who like discredit anything before 7 for 7, because A is Paige. A is teenager.
Yep. Yes.
A, you know, it's the reason why they have that sound. It's still because, you know, they were bred by JYP, and, you know, it just highlights that more personable side of them and like that playful side. But I'm always saying, like, you know, that's why people really like Just Right. You know, it's like a very younger brother of like the teenager and like Paige and all of these. So yeah, I just want to call out all AHGASE who are just like, no, like 7 for 7 is the best album. No, it's not. It's up there, but it's not the best album.
For me, 7 for 7 is like I go back to that album like religiously every week. Probably I'll listen to one song off of it, but I don't think it's fair, to discredit just because like they might have not written or produced or whatever in their old tracks doesn't mean that they weren't good.
Exactly.
They learned from it too.
And they started sooner than people think too. They did. They started way sooner than people think. People will look at it like for face value, or like with like more recent songs, like she said, discrediting everything prior to 7 for 7. But they were doing stuff with production, and like Mark and Jackson were writing their own raps from the beginning. Like, okay, we could tell.
Yeah, we can tell. We know.
Let's not forget that JB wrote the hiniest thing that is Home Run.
Oh,
Even he forgot that he wrote that.
I would block that out of my memory too.
Good.
Someone asked him what was the first song that he wrote for GOT7, and he said something else. And then someone was like, no, that wasn't it. And then he was like, oh, Home Run. Yeah, Home Run. And I'm like, yeah, that's how we all feel about it.
Yeah, that and Q, like, I cannot stand Q. And people fight me.
I hate Q.
Okay.
I fucking hate Q.
People
That's my
fight
hill.
me on this so much, but it makes my ears bleed. I'm just like, it's too happy.
I'll fight them with you.
It's too happy. I don't like it.
As soon as I hear that intro, I'm like, skip.
Exactly. When I found out that was the companion track when they were promoting, I was like, are you stupid? Why would you do this?
Why would you get somebody into GOT7 like, hey, I'm gonna introduce you to this new group. Here's Q.
You'll be like, that's fucking terrible. Next.
Yeah. That's why so many people don't like GOT7, because of Q.
They get shown the crappy song.
No, that's how I feel. Like, they'll literally be like, oh my god, I love this song by GOT7. And then they go and show them the weirdest fucking song in existence. You're like, why would you set them up like that? Like,
Okay, but honestly, that's me, because my favorite GOT7 song ever, and I will fight anyone who tells me something about it, is Magnetic.
Magnetic is a bop. We don't argue
hold
about
on.
Magnetic. Magnetic is a bop.
We don't argue about that,
Okay.
'cause that song is top tier.
Well, I know that I'm in a safe space right now, but, you know, I see people being like, oh, it's too cute. And I'm like, like
No,
you shut your
magnetic
mouth.
is the air I breathe. I don't care.
It's
Yes.
great. I wish they would do that
Oh
live.
my god.
Also,
please.
that little leg dance, girl, that's my shit.
Jin Young's moonwalk.
Girl.
Oh my god.
Seeing that at Fly, that was life changing. I said, oh my god.
Iconic.
Fly, what a great tour Fly was.
Fly was a great tour. Bless up. My first time seeing GOT7.
We made a new best friend, me and her. It was a great experience.
10 out of 10 recommend.
That's where I met Terica too. 10 out of
Yep.
10. 10 out of 10 would recommend Fly. Sorry, I mean, you can't go back in time and go to it, but like, it was a great time.
Imagine. Wow.
If you were there, congratulations.
If you weren't, I'm sorry.
Anyways, let's talk about the last song, Don't Leave Me Alone.
The second don't that JB purposely hurt us all
Oh, girl.
with writing this song and the arrangement of the song and
Yes.
who's saying at what point in this song.
Yes.
We're going to have a talk at dinner tonight. Just wait. I'm upset.
Let him know, please, because this song is, this is my favorite song on the EP. And I don't know if it's just because I'm an emo bitch, but it is what it is.
Probably.
It's wild though, Carolina, because you're not an emo bitch. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's only
true.
for GOT7.
Only for GOT7. Only for
Oh my
GOT7.
God.
But I love this song. I love the arrangement, like Kat was mentioning. I love the lyrics to this. And I know that he mentioned, like, this was written a long time ago. So it has nothing to do with, like, the situation now. But the fact that they brought it back and gave it that meaning again. That bridge at the end. J-Bob, I'm gonna fight you. How dare you start this off? Like, it starts with him and just goes through, like, Jin Young, Jackson, Mark, Yu Young, Bam Bam, Young Jae, and then back to him. That loop killed me. When I saw that at the fan con, like, them performing it, and I just lost it. I was like, he's a simp for GOT7, and that's it. Like, he went ahead and said, you know what will make him cry this? Like, just loop it. And that's what they did. And I love it. I think that, like, I know that, again, he didn't write it about, like, GOT7 and AHGASE and, like, them as a group, but, like, it just rings so true to our relationship with them, like, as fans to artists. Like, basically, like, the fans begging them not to leave and them begging us to not leave. Like,
Don't make me emo.
it's just, yeah, like I'm literally like, it just gives you like such a warm like feeling that they're basically telling us like, please, like, as long as you're here, like, everything is okay, so don't leave. And you know, we go back to how we started the podcast, like this episode, like we talking about how we felt like so sad, like we're just like, don't leave us, like you're leaving us behind, like you're like all these like talk about this bandman and all this stuff, like just not seeing them together and having that be an option, like, oh, GOT7 is no more. Like, I was freaking heartbroken. So now seeing them kind of say like, we felt the same way, oh girl, yeah. So this is definitely my favorite track. I love it so much. It's great musically, like the instrumental is beautiful, the again singing is incredible, and I just feel like it's like the best song that to convey our feelings when it comes to like the fans and them. So that was my spiel. Please don't cry, AHGASE that are listening to this. Thank you.
I could not put it better.
Damn, you said it so well. I have nothing to add.
No, that's literally what I was gonna say. I could not put it better
Literally.
than that. You literally expressed everything that I felt. And it's basically like me going back to saying like, we were like, AHGASE and GOT7 are on the same page all the time. And if we're not on the same page, we catch up quick to get there. There's really very little room for misunderstanding, like with the way our relationship works, because usually we have a similar opinion or a similar end goal for something. And maybe sometimes there will be hiccups, but like I said, we'll catch up quick and kind of realize, you know, what it is their intention is and what it is our intention is, and vice versa. So it's just been a mutual longing kind of going on for the last year of like, you know, wanting to be like a group, having to find time, wanting to meet fans and keep a promise. And I think Alexis was saying something about like, it didn't feel like it was just them keeping a promise, because they seem to keep saying that a lot. And I don't know if it's like just the way that it like the word literally translate into English that kind of makes it sting a little bit, but I don't think that they mean it as like, oh, we're just keeping a promise. I think what they mean is like Bam Bam said it. He said like them keeping this promise is kind of like, it reminded them of like how special their bond is together, and like why they are together and why they wanted to stay together is what like it reminded them of when they got back together, and it allowed them to be able to keep their promise. Because like when you're apart from somebody for so long, like when you're like away from your friends, like you kind of forget your friendship, not forget it, but like you don't do it every day, so you're not thinking about it. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. But then when you get together with your friend again, it's like you didn't miss a beat.
I think that's definitely what happened with them. They've expressed it too, like once they kind of like stopped doing promotions together, and how, like I mentioned earlier, like how it was weird for them to be solo. But it was always that they didn't know, like in their quietest moments, they were realizing like, shit, I miss performing with the besties type of thing. I think that's why this song just like kind of wrapped up the EP perfectly. Even with like this short promo period, like you could even tell that they wanted to do this. Like Youngjae was literally on his radio show for like 8 hours pre-recording the stuff for the next couple of days so he could go and like promote with GOT7. Like you can tell, like Jackson saying that he put aside 3 months just for this.
But you know what broke me on Twitter the other day?
What's
that show called where they line up and like they just rotate each other dancing to their song one by one?
Oh, the relay? Like the relay dance?
That one. There was like a clip of how by the end they all kept just like throwing Mark and just like watching him like dancing entire, and they were saying like they were all very, how Mark had to like learn that choreography in like 8 hours or something like that, and that he and like overnight he learned it, and that he was trying so hard, and like you could tell that my boy Mark, you know, he's rusty.
And he said it. I think he said it too. He was just like, I haven't really like danced or like anything like that in over a year. So I had to come in here and just like
and all of
like
them
crazy.
just like, you know, like hyping him up, and just it was just so endearing.
It was the sweetest moment.
And Mark was like smiling ear to ear. Like you don't fucking see Mark Twan in his little streaming things that he does.
Emotion.
Yeah, like oh my god. Or him just like puffing up his cheeks when he was dancing. I was just like, oh my god, I mean, I always say I miss them, but I was just like, I've missed them so much.
I have missed that dynamic.
I think seeing them finally all together was like what broke me the most. Like when they posted the first picture together, I was just like, I'm a mess. Like, and then, you know, seeing them when watching the fan con, like seeing them interacting with each other, like live there, like all together, like that was, I think, what I missed the most about GOT7. And like, I didn't realize how deprived of that I was, even though obviously like I don't know them, like we're not besties, but seeing them be happy with each other and like that friendship, it just makes me happy. So it's just like, dang.
And even in all the events that they were doing, like I think it was the Twitter Blue Room, they just like they would reference like these memes of them.
Oh my god, yeah.
Randomly. Like when they were like, oh yeah, like when Youngjae spoiled Fly. And then there was like a moment where Bam Bam said something about Big, and Mark turns to him and he's like, oh, how you know? And Bam Bam starts laughing his ass off, and he's like, oh, how you know? And I was just like, oh my god, they're just like us, like just really enjoying it, you know?
GOT7, you will always be famous.
Yo, they know all the memes. I love that though, because
so funny. They know everything. They're so aware of their own fan culture. It's not even funny. Like, it's so hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. Okay, so Jinyoung just got Twitter. So Jinyoung just got Twitter. And tell me how the first thing I saw AHGASE sending him? Memes from the past like 5 years.
They're like, you've missed everything.
Not only that, but tattletelling on Bam Bam.
Yes.
You know, like he did this, he posted this picture, he did blah blah blah. I was just like, oh my god, y'all are.
They were like, we've got years to catch up on.
They want to see Bam Bam's demise because he is too much. That's why.
Listen, if a group out there can talk about how, remember when you threw a laptop at me? Like,
that was so shocking to me. I could not believe after all of these years you're addressing it now.
I think it's because now they can.
Yeah.
Not only that, but the chicken wing thing. I feel every time they talk about that chicken wing story, we learn something new.
God.
And then Jinyoung also talking about when Bam Bam and Yoongyum came up and they were just dancing naked.
Yes.
Like in front of the door. I'm like, what group does this?
Also, the new ones, the rice story with Jackson, where he threw the temper tantrum and threw the instant rice. That was a new one. They could not believe we didn't know about that. Like, no, we didn't know that Jackson was crazy.
They were like, oh, we don't be telling y'all everything. Oh, we feel like y'all were there. Y'all weren't there?
Exactly.
And then them saying that the rice stayed on the top of the ceiling until they moved out. Like, oh my god, disgusting boys.
Anyway, so but don't leave me alone. I think that this is the perfect way to end this EP.
She
Like, this
said,
is great.
oh, right, we're talking about this song.
I forgot. We're just having a good old time, okay? That's
I'm so
why.
satisfied.
But, yeah.
I'm so satisfied with this album. Like, I'm so satisfied.
Yes.
Same. I was nervous whenever it dropped because I was scared that it was gonna be like they were just like, oh, we want to get away from like that GOT7 image under JYP, that they were gonna do something like completely off way. So I was just like, damn. So I don't know what to expect. And then you can't really trust the highlight medleys that they've always released.
Their highlight medleys are always weird. This is the first highlight medley where I was like, this shit slaps. Like, you know, like I was so happy.
Same.
Yep.
So, but when I first heard it, I woke up early. Okay, so I woke up early to get to work early just so I could take my time driving. Because I like listening to new music in my car. And I literally put that Truth started and I was just like, what? Like, I just started screaming. I don't know if anybody saw me driving that morning. They were like, is that girl okay? And I was just like, no, I'm
Anybody
not.
in Tampa who saw a crazy woman in her car screaming.
It was Carolina.
This is great. Yeah, but same. I'm very satisfied with this. I'm very happy. And now we wait.
Yes, now we wait. And that's another thing. Like, I don't mind waiting now. After this, like, I don't mind waiting anymore. And, like kind of like with how we kind of were all expecting them to do, like, a tour or, like, a concert internationally outside of, like, Korea. Like, I don't mind waiting for it because I think we're going to get it eventually. When we get it, it's going to be better than what we're ever expecting. Also, as long as they see that we're still asking for it, still wanting it, they will make it happen. I have complete faith in them and trust.
Same.
I think it was in the press conference. I think it was a press conference where JB said that he hopes that maybe every like 2-3 years they can do like a festival type of concert. I was like, fuck yeah, like I would love that. Of course, let us know like at least 2 months prior, please, not like a fucking week.
And then also don't just have the festival in Korea. Please do it in different places. Like even if they don't do like a cohesive tour, I'm okay with that because I know it's hard to take 3-4 months out of your time to tour because they used to tour like crazy. They toured like Western artists toured. There was no other artists back then when GOT7 started touring like that who would tour the way that they did internationally. They were some of the first ones to do that and to popularize it and make companies notice, hey, you can really make money in other countries touring like this because these people are in demand. Like, well, if you're in demand.
Well, they made all their money touring, so.
Yeah, so all their money touring. So it's like, there's no doubt in my mind, like, they're going to do concerts, but I know it's not going to be the way it was. It's just too hard to do it. It's just not enough time in the world. There's only 24 hours in a day. So I feel like, hopefully, though, we'll get some like concerts, like maybe a large concert in one state and a large concert in this country and a large concert in this country. Hopefully they can make some time to do something like that because it takes less time to do it. But I would really like to see them overseas again. I really would, as GOT7.
I mean, I'll fly to fucking Korea to see them. I just need notice.
More than a week.
Like, give me
I will
some
do
months.
it too, but the energy is different. The energy is just so different in other countries. And GOT7 are just so known for having crazy fans in other countries. That's the reason why I want it to be like out of Korea.
The air is different when you go to a GOT7 concert in the USA. That shit, you are,
Even when I went to Mexico,
it's
like Mexico was hype and it was great. Like there's just nothing like a GOT7 in the USA concert. I've seen GOT7 in London. I became an international bird, so like I just really had to see what was going on. So like I saw them in like Mexico, saw them in London. It's just really nothing hits like a US concert, specifically like a Miami, Houston, and California. Those are the best ones.
The South.
Yeah, the South just hits different.
Houston was a mess.
The South hits different.
They smelled the Houston air and they were like, you know what? This is it. They said, this is us. Wow, the AHGASE special. Beautiful.
What a time to be alive, honestly.
And any last notes? We should end it like any last notes on this album? I'm GOT7.
Before the comeback came out, I was talking to a friend who's also a K-pop fan. I'm not gonna say their name because I'm not gonna like throw her under the bus. But you know, I was like on my GOT7 soapbox, right? Being like I'm just so happy because like, you know, they're doing this for themselves and like yes for us too, but mostly for themselves, and like it's just so refreshing to see like a group that like actually likes each other.
Yeah.
And like actually wants to stay together, because not everyone has that, honey, okay? So, and, you know, liking so many groups and for so many years, like, you know, like just me personally as a fan, like I remember, you know, I was really into Beast at one point, and, you know, and you believe, you know, you drink the Kool-Aid, and then like Hyungsang leaves because he just doesn't want to be in the group, you know, and does like his solo stuff. And just like, and there's so many groups who do that, right? And I was just like, oh my God, like, and then my friend was just like, well, you know, like it's kind of like, you know, Super Junior, who, you know, they're still together and they, you know, have a working relationship. And I'm like, yes, but they talk about it and they say like, you know, we're like a family at this point. And, you know, sometimes you don't like your family. You don't want to see them. But when you see them, it's like, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, we're here. And, you know, and they have like a fucking empire together. 16-year-long career, whatever. And I was like, sure, yes. Like, I'm not saying that they probably like each other all the fucking time. But they talk about that. They say that they fought and everything. But at the core, you know, those 7 people like each other. And they care about each other, you know? And it's like, they don't just say it, you know, you can see it. And this promo cycle, that was very apparent. And they communicated it. And I think that that's one of the things that AHGASE really connect with them, and maybe them with us, because they've always been very, even in JYP when they maybe didn't have the chance to talk a lot, still through their content and everything, like they said a lot. And now that they don't have those restrictions, they've been even more communicative. You know, throwback to when Youngjae put out Vibin, and like he was the only member who got all of them to do his dance challenge, you know? Like, it's just so fucking refreshing to see that, you know, they like being together as much as we like seeing them together.
Yes.
And this, because they all went their separate ways. Like, they didn't have to come back and do an album, you know? Jackson has been saying Jackson Wang from China for like 3 years straight now. You know, like he doesn't need to come. Like, it's probably maybe a hindrance for his career to just like not be promoting so much his solo career. You know, like he just did Coachella, and he still like he did Coachella, and he immediately went back to Korea for this. You know, like it's just very refreshing to see that. And maybe I do take a little bit too much of the AHGASE Kool-Aid, but also objectively, I'm just like, they didn't have to do this.
They didn't.
They could have just told like, oh yeah, hiatus, like, oh, we'll come back, and they never do it, you know. But they didn't.
They could have pulled the One Direction.
Oh
but they
my
didn't.
God, the scars, the battle scars, the trauma, PTSD, all of it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, no, and just to wrap it up, and like going back to, you know, showing, not just telling, like this promo cycle, like we saw that they enjoyed being there together, and that you know, they missed being there together. And you know what Carolina was saying about like, you know, promoting on their own versus promoting. And so anyway, all to say that this was wonderful. And I think now I am going to have a little bit more faith in them. That it's like, okay, now I see that you want to do it, you know, that you like it. But I know that we're going to have to wait like 2-3 more years. And that's fine. You know, they'll be doing stuff on their own. And that holds us out for, you know, a minute. And then also there's always interaction between them on like social media or when they coincide in shows. So yeah, all this to say, GOT7, I fucking love you.
And also, we just never know what's going to happen, too. So, like, just to wrap it up for me, like, yeah, maybe we'll have to wait 2 years, but maybe they'll surprise us, because GOT7 are notorious liars. So maybe they will surprise us, and they may come back in another year and a half and give us something or whatever. Or they may surprise us and do like a concert or like another kind of thing. Or if they all get together, or we'll get like a unit like we were talking about earlier. Maybe we'll get a unit. Maybe not be GOT7, but it may be a GOT7 unit. Maybe we'll get something like that, and they're going to probably find some sort of way to keep us fed between now and then, whatever it's going to be. But I think now I wholeheartedly have trust in whatever, you know, their plan is, their goal is together. And as units, as soloists, I don't mind any of it. And I'm going to say I don't mind the waiting, even though it's half a lie, because I do mind the waiting, but I don't mind the waiting because I know it's going to be worth it in the end. So yeah, I'm gonna complain, but I'm not ungrateful.
Yeah, I'm gonna complain the entire way, but
But I'm here for it. Yeah. For me, parting words, same thing. I absolutely love this album. I love that we can see that their relationship is still what they care the most about, and that they're able to just show us, you know, because I'm always like preaching, like, please, I want to see like the friendship and like post pictures and like blah blah, and for them to show us that they are ride or die for each other in this promotion period, no matter how short it was. You could tell like their efforts into GOT7 and that they wanted to be together and they wanted to do work together. So I hate waiting. I'm not patient. I will throw tantrums, but will I wait there? Yes, I will.
But we'll be there.
My Agabomb will be ready for anything. Just give me more than a week, please, to get anywhere. And like Kiara said, like, they are liars.
Yes.
All men do is lie. So I wouldn't be surprised if next week they're just like world tour. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Nothing they do is gonna surprise me ever again.
Ever. So yeah, so I really appreciate that they are a group. Yes. Like, I appreciate that they love the group. Like, they love GOT7. They love each other so much that they are willing to sacrifice whatever to do a comeback together, and that they love the fans so much that they like came back. They didn't have to do that, and they still did it. And I'm just like, I feel so loved.
And you know, for all that we dog and like complain and shit talk about JYP, at the end of the day, like, how the fuck did they put this group together? Like 7 people
literally
who are so different and just unhinged, and we're like, yeah, this is gonna work.
Truly,
and it worked. Like, how, like, you know, how?
So props to JYP for creating GOT7.
Yeah, for putting them together.
It gotta take a psychopath to go, you know what? Put those 2 boys that threw laptops at each other. Put them in a group together. Yeah, that sounds like it'd be a good idea. Yeah. And those 2 foreigners, those 3 foreigners, yeah, put them in there. Fuck it, let's go.
It'll work out.
GOT7 is such a good time. Y'all live. Thank you for listening. If you don't stand GOT7, please go and stand GOT7.
Reevaluate your life. You're stupid. Reevaluate
your life.
Get with the winning team.
Even their quote unquote bad songs are good songs, so I don't know what you're talking about.
They just don't know how to have a good time.
Exactly.
That's true.
If
you don't stand GOT7, you must be a boring bitch. Let me put that out
You're
there.
right.
You have to be. Thank you so much for listening to us scream and ramble and cry. I appreciate it. And this is my Not Your Average Fangirls debut. I'm so sorry I was so erratic, but this is just who I am. It's my brand.
That's not true. You have debuted on our YouTube channel, though, so...
It's true.
But not the podcast, though. But that's okay.
She's bitter.
I am.
She's bitter, Your
Honor.
It's okay. We'll bring you back. We'll bring you back for ATs and the boys and everything. Don't worry.
Yeah, so y'all will see me, I guess. They're going to invite me back for the boys because I think, because the flagship, the B on this channel is Cat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Period. Yes.
yeah, it's Cat. So I will be here to support if you need me. I will be here to support.
The rest of them just clown me the whole time.
Well, I'm going to record everything that Carolina does at the boys, and I will report back.
Dang.
But thank you guys so much. That was the podcast for today. I mean, have you guys been listening to anything besides GOT7 this week?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So our songs
CIX.
of the week are the entire GOT7 album and some CIX.
And 17. The 17 album that just dropped, everybody. Please go listen to it. So because this is a special episode, stay tuned. Next week, we will be covering all of the comebacks you missed for this week that we won't be talking about today. So stay tuned for that. So yes, we will be talking about 17.
And also peep the YouTube channel because all those reactions will be up.
So just to wrap everything up, again, thank you, Kiara, for coming on. Alexis, thank you for always being a resident AHGASE here at Not Your Average Fangirls.
AHGASE correspondent.
Exactly. Before we leave, if you guys want to drop your socials or anything, if you guys want people to follow you, go for it.
So you can see more erratic banter on my Twitter account, which I am on way too much, an unhealthy amount of time. So it is Kiara _Diane. So that's KIARA _DIANE _ and that is where I'm at.
And if you want to follow me, I actually have 2 interviews coming up, one with NMIX and the other one with Momoland. So don't ask me when. Don't ask me when. So just follow me and I'll tweet them. So you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at HOE _DOYAN. And I don't know. This is a safe space. I can share that I'm working on a podcast.
Woo!
I'm
Yes!
excited.
It's coming out
Claps,
soon.
claps.
That's all I would say. But I'm going to do the grand reveal of the name here, which is
Ooh.
it's a K-pop thing. It's gonna be about fandom and just like everything that makes K-pop K-pop. So follow me on my socials and eventually that'll be out too. But yeah, thank you again for inviting me to this. You guys know that anything GOT7, I'm there with an opinion. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, spending 2 hours of your time with us. This is great.
It didn't feel like
Thank
2
you.
hours.
It really didn't,
No,
though.
it didn't.
It didn't.
So whether you are an AHGASE or not, and like we said, if you're not, really reevaluate your shit. Make sure you always
Fangirl on.